Okay, gang, so this is for folks that have finished Unit 7 of Theory and are working on what I'm going to just call theory composition assignments. There's 2 of them for the end of this quarter. Should be a lot of fun, actually. I don't want you to regret this. I want you to actually enjoy it. So as you can see from the instructions, they should be at least 30 seconds long and should not be longer than 3 minutes. I would shoot for the minute mark or under, 30 seconds to a minute. 4 tracks. Can be instrumental beats recorded from your own piano or guitar playing. You could put your voice in there. And then they're going to be in a major key, this first assignment. The second assignment has some more details about being in a minor key and then also maybe altering the style. So if you did one type of style in the first recording, you could do a different type of style in the second one. But this first one should be in a major key, and I'll show you what exactly I mean by that in the context of how to record it and how to change some things in the actual program. And that's basically what the instructions say. They just give you some reminders about how to do it, but my video should show you. So if we go into Soundtrap, we enter the studio, and I've got kind of my blank slate, clean slate, whichever way you want to put it. I'm going to add a track. I'm going to start with beats. And so I could go this way where I could look at, if I was going to play something and I have a synthesizer, if you're kind of going for it with this, you could use something in that realm. But I'm going to, and you could go to drums and beats and play on your keyboard or connect to a MIDI drum kit. But in my case, I'm actually going to go over and use the loops. So I'm going to go over to the little music button. I'm going to use beats loop is what we'll start with, I guess. And I'm just going to look at this. Let's see. Ooh, Atlantis. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of fun. I'm just going to use that. So I'm going to pop that over here. And this could be my first track. I think you can kind of hear that. Now, remember, you may not want it to loop because we want it just to be 1 30-second stretch there. My tempo is at 68. If I wanted to change the tempo and make it faster, let's just pretend I could go up to like 90 or something. And it's going to say, do you want to adjust? I'm going to adjust as it's doing it. Let's see if it'll let, come on. Well, that's kind of cool. So you can mess with that. So I'm just going to leave it a little faster. So that's one way you can do the beats. Another thing you can do with beats is you can actually do drum and bass. You could actually then go in here. Ooh, hello. Got to get rid of that. And you could choose different drum machines. So there's different types of machines. You can look all through this. Here's like a garage kit. So let's look at low funk. Danger Harsh Funker. Vanilla, I think, is just a basic kit, and that's why that's in there. But what you can do then is you can actually look and say, well, I want different types of, let's just see, we're adding different things. And let's have all these different drums, and then you can select different types of sounds for each area, and then you can have them on different beats. And let's just say like this. And I'm going to, just so you can hear that one thing, I'm going to mute my first selection, and I'll just rewind and press play. So then if I played both together, obviously I didn't spend a lot of time there, but and that's actually kind of funky. I mean, it actually kind of fit a little bit. And then I'm going to just drag that loop out here. And so I have a second instrument. Another instrument or area that's great to add would be basses or guitars. I might even add 2. So I'm going to look at bass. And I earlier was messing around with this, and I found one I kind of liked, and I don't remember what it was. Let's see. There it is. Bass bluesy walking. And so I had listened to a bunch of these before I started the project. And so in this part is where you start to talk about the major key. And as you can see down here, for that, I have a key signature. Well, it's not a key signature, but it's telling me this is in a C, it's in C minor. And then you can go, just click on that and then change it to any key. I want to play in C major today, just because that's where my brain is. So I'm going to click on C major. It's going to adjust the track, or at least it should. And then we should. And then I've got this kind of cool thing going on. You could also add a track with bass, for example, and you could say, I'm going to add a track. I want it to be guitar and bass, and I want to just play the notes. So maybe you've looked at your circle of fifths, and we could go over here and just the idea of like in C major, these are the notes I can play, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. You looked at, or maybe in a different key, you chose D major, and these are the notes you can play after you looked at your circle of fifths and figured it out. D. So these, these are the notes you want to use in your composition. So if you're in Soundtrap and you're messing around, then you would only want to play, if you're in C, okay, and you would just play and record at the same time. And so we could get ready to do this here. I'm going to turn off my metronome so I can just play to the beat. And you could actually make that about anything. It could be guitar, like I was just running around on it. You could make it a bass sound. And so then you would choose all these different things. Look at all that. And you can choose any of these instruments and then play in the key you want. Now, we haven't talked about chord progressions and how it all fits, but this is kind of an experiment to just play in the same major key. And one of the requirements in the assignment was to do piano or keyboard, but you could just make it a guitar sound if you want. You may not want to include a piano sound. The other cool part about all this is that, like, let's say I did want to use a piano or keyboard, but I don't want it to be a piano sound. I want it to be like a synth sound, which would be something like this. You could. So I'm going to just select that one for fun. And then I'm going to look and see, like, they've got these keyboard bits on here. So I'm going to see, okay, which notes would I play to play in C major? And choose different note combinations and mess with it. So like Q, E, and Y, for example. So Q, E, and Y. And I'd go back and try to record. Now, mine's going to sound like a hot mess right now, but it's the idea that you can start playing around with those and you can edit it that way. Another way you can edit these tracks is I was playing on the instrument keyboard. You can actually do the piano roll, they call it. It's like an old school player piano. And what you do is you click on the names of the notes you want to use in C major, and then you would just click on the beat for each of those as you mess with it. So I'm going to write on this now. I used a little writing tool over there. And then you can actually put it on the beat of each measure. So there's 4 tabs here. Each of those is a beat and a measure, just like in that drum piano roll thing where you're creating your beats. So you can have a lot of fun with this. Again, doesn't have to be very long. Mess with tempo. Choose a key that you like. Stick with it. And then when you choose a new track, just make sure it transposes everything to that key. So enjoy it. Make sure you save it. When you're all done, put it out there as an MP3. And let's just hear some cool stuff. Thanks.